Mini-series Own Your Selection Process. Episode 4 Handling Interview Questions, Tips and Tools. In this episode, we will be focusing on how to handle interview questions, questions to expect based on the job description, and an overview and example using the STAR technique. How to handle interview questions. It's impossible to know the exact questions that you will be asked, but there are some common questions that you should always be prepared for. These questions include questions about you. You will need to be comfortable giving the interviewer an overview of who you are and what skills and experience you have to meet the requirements of the job, as well as why you are interested in the position. Be confident in the unique skills and capabilities that you can offer, and practice how you would articulate them to speak to the job. The job. Understand the job description and be prepared to motivate how you meet the competencies required with solid examples. The employer. Know who you are meeting with by ensuring thorough knowledge of the company and what they do. The company will ask questions to ascertain your understanding of their business and where this position fits into it. The sector or industry. When doing research, formulate your own opinions and questions that demonstrate your interest and knowledge about the industry. Be prepared to be probed on your opinions. Therefore, ensure that you are confident and that you can justify your thinking with logical reasoning. Questions to expect based on the job description. For an assistant brand manager graduate role, these are some of the competencies that are required. Trained in marketing research, an understanding of brand optimization, able to present and execute creative ideas and marketing activities, thorough understanding of marketing campaigns from promotion to launch, stakeholder management, understanding of budgeting, and proficient in analyzing Google Analytics. These are examples of some of the questions that you could be asked. Can you give me an example of a brand promotion and activation campaign that has stood out to you and why? If we asked you to prepare benchmark analysis, how would you start your research? Can you give me an example of a time when you had to deliver a project that required dealing with many different stakeholders? For digital marketing, what metrics would you monitor and why? What reports would you create to keep track of them? You can therefore clearly see which questions are testing which competencies in this job description. Which brings us to the STAR technique. In order to help you answer these types of questions, there is a very useful technique called the STAR technique. It is a technique that helps you structure and answer situational or competency-based questions in an organized manner. When answering, use the acronym STAR to structure your answer. Situation. Provide context. What was going on, who was involved, and what was at stake. The task. What needed to be achieved or accomplished. What were the expected outcomes? The action. What did you do? What action did you take? And how did you do what you did? And finally, the result. What was the outcome? If it was positive, share it. If it was negative, still share it, but share what you learned from it or how you would handle the situation differently next time. In order to help you understand a bit better, here is an example putting this into action. Describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision that impacted other people. Last year, I was the chairperson of the InvestStock Committee, and we had a networking event with various directors from XY Bank. It was a prestigious event, and attendees had to go through an application process to attend. We had invested lots of funds and time into the event, and so it was really stressful when the main speaker of the event cancelled the day before the event. I needed to make a decision regarding what to do. All of the marketing material had this individual's name on it, and many attendees were coming just to listen to her. I therefore had to make a very quick but tough decision that impacted all of the attendees, as well as the society and corporate partners. Do we go ahead or cancel the event? I called an urgent committee meeting as soon as I found out. I led a brainstorming session to quickly identify what the best solution was to mitigate the risks associated with this cancellation. We decided it was best not to cancel and to instead ask one of our other high-level corporate attendees to fill in. I got onto the phone immediately and tried to find an appropriate replacement speaker. We managed to secure another female speaker to speak with really great credentials. As soon as her attendance was confirmed, I got marketing to send out comms to all the attendees regarding the change. The event was a huge success and we had full attendance. This is an example of how the STAR technique can be put into action. Thank you for tuning into episode 4 of mini-series Own Your Selection Process, brought to you by the UCT Careers Service. Be sure to tune into episode 5, where we will be focusing on virtual interviews.